Hey fellow entrepreneurs, I want to teach you today how to promote, set up, and sell voice AI agents in your business. And so whether you are just starting out with trying to figure out digital products and SaaS and all that kind of stuff, or maybe you're trying to add different offers to your current service stack, I want to teach you how to find prospects, set up the voice AI agent, train it, and also sell it and promote it. And so this voice AI agent actually solves a tremendous problem, an expensive problem in the industry. So any small business, roofing contractor, dentist, chiropractor, movie theater, whatever it may be, they're answering the phone anywhere from 10 to 200 times a day. And a lot of those calls are, what's your hours? What are the general, Q&As that those businesses have? And so those are perfect questions that the voice agent is going to be able to answer. And so the voice agent is going to be able to be answering and fielding like 200 calls a minute if needed, but it's going to allow that business owner, that admin person, the secretary to be more in tune and intentional with the customer that's standing right in front of them. And so we're going to help empower that business with the voice AI agent. And so today in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set it up. I'm going to allow you to also use and copy my GPT that's trained to set up and train voice agents. And then we'll talk through how to prospect, how to sell this service so you can do it too. So it's been a really big game changer for me. And so let's dive in. I use High Level. This is the tool I use. I am able to white label it. So you see my agency there, Almada Marketing. And so I'm in the prospecting area, and I've actually found this collision center out of St. Louis. So when you use the prospecting tool in here, you are able to kind of see some stats on their Google business, if they've got it connected, are they using WordPress, whatever, what's their ratings. And so you can kind of come over here, fill out some more information if you want to. This specific business is out of the St. Louis area. A cool feature within High Level here is we can generate a prospecting report. And so this takes a few minutes to generate, and so we'll come right back as it's done. All right, so we are finishing up here. Let's see what this says. So I'm not going to go into crazy detail on this report, but this is a really good prospecting tool to help any business out, right? So you're able to kind of analyze it. It's going to look at the tech stack, the business profile, the listings. And so you can kind of come here and get a quick snapshot of the different aspects of the business to understand it, to be able to communicate this back to the business owner. We're not going to do that right now. I'm actually going to set up an account for this business here. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to click convert to sub account. I'm just going to put my name for now. So if you didn't know, you can make an email with plus and then whatever special character that you want. That way you can do a test email pretty quick. So I'm going to click next, click finish. And so now it's going to generate our sub account for us. All right, so I'm going to go into that account now. So I'm going to say JR Collision. And so now we're going to come down to AI agents. And so here's where we can come over here to voice AI. And so we're going to click create agent. And so here's where you would give it a name. So we'll say collision assistant, helps if I can spell, and business name, and here's all the names that we can do. So we can do Hope.
Okay, so this might sound silly, but I just got this weird sparkly feeling in my chest, and I think I'm actually falling in love.
Okay, so I don't think we need that one. Here's
The world is round, and the place which may seem like the end may also be the beginning.
Cool, I like that one. And for this, let's do that. And so here's where you can customize the agent's initial message. I usually like, when I set these up for clients, is that I think it's really important that we set the tone of like what this is. And so I think we do like, hey, you have reached Hope. I am a virtual assistant with JR Collision Center. How can I help you today? Or you could even say, to make it more personal, who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today? Cool. So click next. And then here's where you have the goals. So the knowledge base is like, you can create your own knowledge base. I'll actually go into that here in a second. So we're basically in basic mode right now. I typically always go into advanced mode, but I'm just kind of progressing through here, and then we'll switch it into advanced. All right, so we're gonna hit save. And so now we're actually going to go back into it. So I'm going to go to agent list. You can have a bunch of different agents and you can transfer the call back and forth between them. But in this, basically what I'm going to do is show you how to set up the basics of a agent. And the big thing is we want to be able to transfer calls. And so I'll show you how to transfer calls. We can do text message. Keep in mind that if you want to do text messages, you do need to be A2P registered, and I'll do that in another video. But just to set up like basic calls and transfers and all that, you don't have to be A2P certified. So that's really nice. This is something that you can get up and going within 30 minutes to an hour, especially once you've done a few of them. And so I'm back in here with the agent details. I'm actually going to go to advanced settings. Here's where you can increase the call limit to, I say usually do like 12 or 14 minutes, something like that. You can adjust the speed of how they talk and the idle time. I've kind of found that 3 seconds is pretty good. You don't want it to be idle too long, and so you can always come in there and adjust that. Here's where we can test it, but we're not quite ready to test yet. So that's the initial greeting. I'm gonna come up here to the agent goals, and here's where we can create its own knowledge base. All right, we're gonna come in here and say collision center. And this knowledge base, like we can come in here and give it frequently asked questions. If you just wanna go back and forth, you can do it that way. You can crawl their database or their website. And so I'm gonna come in here and click web crawler. And so here I'm actually going to pull over, one second. And so as far as like the business that we've selected here, we've actually searched for body shops in St. Louis, Illinois, and I found J&R Collision here. This is just an example. I didn't really pick them for any specific reason, but they do have 67 reviews, 4.8 stars. That's pretty good. And so you can kind of look over here. I do see that they're not necessarily replying to like the latest reviews. And so if I was talking to them, I might encourage them to reply to those reviews, because that's really good for ranking. And this would be another additional service that I would actually package in with my Voice AI answering service, is the reviews reply. And so that would be something I would talk to them when I was talking about the proposal process with J&R Collision. And so if we click on their website here, let's see, website, just a quick look over the website. Looks really nice, looks really professional. And so I'm not going to do a critique on their website right now. I'm basically just wanting to come in here and basically take the link and come back over to our knowledge base and pull that in for the AI to crawl and extract the data about the business. And so that's going to take a few minutes. It's going to crawl it, and it's going to add all the information on the website to the knowledge base. So that's back over here. So we've got collision center, knowledge base is there. So if we come back over to the voice agent, now we actually need to get into the prompt. And so if we go to the agent goals, I'm going to hit refresh because that's not showing up. Just keep in mind, if things don't pop up how you think they should, it's always best practice to go ahead and give it a refresh. All right, so we've refreshed. We're going to come back over here to the knowledge base, pick our collision center, hit save. And now is where the fun part comes in. This part down here, that we actually need to adjust the prompt so that it is even more specific and dynamic to what the business needs. Okay, so the next step, actually, before we start testing, is we need to create a phone number for this. And so we're going to go out and buy a phone number. In order to buy a phone number, you need to be able to enable it from your agency level account. And so I can see here that I can come over here to JR Collision Center. I'm going to link to lead connector. And so now I can come back over here to the sub account, and I should have a phone number available for us. So click back into AI agents, voice, agent list, phone and availability. And so it's going to allow me to add a new number, add phone number. And here's where you can, you have a little bit of filters available. And so you could sort. So first part of the number, let's see what the number is here. So 877, this is St. Louis area. And so I could actually say I want a number that's going to have the first 3 numbers in that to be 877. And so right now we have to do a toll-free number. If you didn't want to do a toll-free number, you would just need to go through the A2P registration process, and I can do another video on that. So I'm going to click this number here. I'm going, actually, let's see here. Let's see if we can not do a toll-free. Yep, it's not going to let us do that. So, all right, I'm going to pick this number right here, proceed to buy. And so It's basically $2.15 a month. We're not going to verify it right now. And so here we go. Now we're going to go back to the Voice AI agent, go back to our collision assistant, phone unavailability, and we're going to tie it to this one and click save. And so now that's going to allow us to be able to test it. And so we can do a quick test real quick. Put my number in here and it's going to call me.
Hey, you have reached Hope. I am a virtual assistant with J&R Collision Center. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Yeah, this is Aaron.
Hi, Aaron. How can I assist you today?
Yeah, I just got in a wreck and I need some assistance getting towed and my car fixed.
I'm sorry to hear about your accident, Aaron. We'll make sure you get the help you need. Could I get your phone number and email address so our team can reach out to assist you further?
Sure. All right, so that's just a quick example. We haven't even adjusted the prompt yet. That was pretty smooth. And so what I'm going to show you now is if we come over here to agent goals, that wasn't even in advanced mode. So what we're going to do is we want to have more control over the prompt. So I'm going to click switch to advanced mode. And now I've got access to this whole prompt here. All right, so we're going to copy this prompt here. We're going to bring over the GPT that I've specifically designed for Voice AI. I'm going to say at the top of this, hey, I need you to help improve my prompt for this Voice AI receptionist. Here's their website. And below is the prompt, the initial prompt that I had. All right, and we need their website real quick. So I'm going to come over here, copy this, come back to this, and paste in my link. And so it's going to think it's going to generate a improved prompt here. And so it's literally going to give it to you here that you can copy and paste. Okay, great. And if the customer is upset, we want them to transfer to the office. So you just kind of go back and forth with it, just continue optimizing it. You can even ask it questions within the prompt to understand how it's going to answer. So if you wanted to do this, you can edit in Canvas, and then you can say like, how would you handle an emergency? And then you could say update the full prompt. All right, so we've kind of handled the transfer, the urgency of an emergency. Now I think it's important that we look at, what services does this business have? So let's look at the collision here. So we can copy this and say, hey, learn from these services and add to the prompt. I cannot spell, I'll talk to you guys. And so you could do this for every single page, but it will continue to update. Awesome. So you could say, great, update the full script. So now it's going to update the entire thing. And so you could imagine, like, you just go back and forth. A lot of this is testing and learning. So you set it up like this, you call it, test it, and you could even tell it like, hey, it answered in this way, and I really want it to answer this way. Can you adjust the script? And it will adjust it accordingly. So this is looking pretty good. I want to see if it handles like, what are your hours? What are your hours? It's still thinking, so it's going to take it a second. Once it's done, we'll ask it that question. Failed to edit. So answer in the chat, that's no problem. What are your hours? Let's let it finish this and we'll ask it what are the hours. All right, let's see. So it generated all that. Now I want to ask it just a simple question of like, what are your hours? Make sure that is included in the prompt. Okay, please generate the full prompt, again, including the hours. So this is just an incredible tool. I use this every single day, and it allows me I can create a prompt for a voice assistant within 20 minutes to an hour. It just kind of depends on how detailed it is and how complicated the business owner wants it to be. There's some more advanced type things that we can do with call transfers. A big thing that I've seen customers want to do, like if the customer maybe wants a quote or wants to order online, kind of what we'll do is say, hey, most customers prefer to order online. Can we text you a link? And if they say yes, we'll do an automation to text them. I'll show you how to do that. If not, would you rather speak to a person? And if they say, yes, I'd rather speak to a person, we transfer that to the business number. All right, so I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna grab this whole entire prompt, I'm gonna copy it, go back over here to high level. I'm gonna delete this out of here and copy paste. Key thing to note is that the prompt will not allow you to have emojis. So if ChatGPT creates an emoji for you, tell it to not have emojis, and then that way it'll save that without it. All right, so that's the basics of creating your prompt. You're gonna learn a lot by just doing it and taking action. So the next piece is to be able to create actions. And so you can do, like, let's say a call transfer. So customer is upset, transfer to manager. And so let's just say this is the number. You can't have any spaces or characters in here. So we're going to take those out. And then when should the call take place? Well, that should take place when you feel that the customer is upset. Let's say caller is upset or asks to speak to a manager. So this is what does the bot say? What does the agent say before transferring the call? So no problem. I will transfer you over to one of our team members to help you with that. So the whisper message. This is actually one of the most favorite aspects of this for my businesses that I help with the Voice AI assistant. And so the whisper message is basically like, it would say, if I've been on the phone with the agent, like, and I'm upset, like it would actually, and I said I wanted to transfer and speak to a person, it would say, hey, Aaron has a complaint about the paint job that he received, and he wants to speak to a person. And so whenever the business owner picks up the phone, it's gonna whisper that message, and then they can start talking. It's just a really nice feature that business owner or receptionist there can have a little bit of context about what the call is about to be about. So we're going to click save. So that was during the call, but if we wanted to update some things, we also can update different fields after the call. And so that could be like business name. If the caller mentions business name. We're going to overwrite the contact field, and this could be Walmart, Sam's, you get the point. So now we've got actions during the call, after the call. Here's all the different things you can do. You can even book appointments with this. I'm not going to go into that specifically. This is just the initial aspect of like getting it set up. You can trigger a workflow. And so if you needed an email to be sent out to the business owner, maybe the caller says something like they want to fill out a form or something like that, and they just want to do it over the phone, you can trigger a workflow. I did one of these for a tenant qualifier for some rental property owners. They basically wanted the voice agent to field all the tenant requests that were interested in their property. And so when somebody actually answered all the qualifying questions correctly, I kicked off a workflow to email the business owner with like, hey, you've got a qualified tenant. And that's an example of a workflow. So let's say that there was a certain question maybe that you wanted your AI agent to ask. And so for this example, maybe it's like, hey, what service are you interested in? And so I'm gonna show you how to create a custom field to be able to handle that. So I'm gonna go back, go to contacts, I'm gonna go up here to the gear icon. I'm gonna click here, add field. And so here we're going to say a single line text. It could be drop down, it could be whatever. And so for this, I'm gonna say services interested in. The group is just where you have contact general info. I typically put most of my stuff in additional information. And so now that is down here is a custom field. So now we're going to go back over to the Voice AI agent, back to agent goals. We're going to scroll down, and now we want to create a new action to update the field services interested. Update field. We're going to come over here, services, and say what to update in the field. Update the mentioned services by the caller if they mention anything that they are interested in. Paint job, bumper repair. You get the point. And so we'll actually do a call here in a second and kind of test that out. So you can imagine, like, you can create all kinds of different scenarios here to be able to dynamically capture this information for the business owner and then transfer the calls if needed, get the information. The cool thing is that it goes back over here to the contacts area. And so I'm actually gonna go back to the Voice AI assistant, Voice AI, agent goals. We're gonna come and make sure that our name is filled out. So update first name when the caller mentions their name. Aaron, give it a few examples. Bob, save. All right, so now we're actually gonna do a test. I'm gonna call this agent. You can see I have no contacts in here. So you're gonna get to see like how that looks, and it's gonna update the information as I talk to it.
Hey, you have reached Hope. I am a virtual assistant with J&R Collision Center. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Yeah, this is Aaron.
Hi, Aaron. How can I assist you today?
Yeah, I had a deer run into my car, and I need to replace the whole bumper.
Oh no, that sounds frustrating. Let me help you with that. I'll get the repair process started for your bumper replacement. Which of our locations would you prefer to visit?
St. Louis.
Great choice. I'll get everything set up for our St. Louis location. Could I have your phone number or email to make sure we can reach you?
Yeah, it's 270-331-5962.
Thanks, Aaron. I've got your number as 270-331-5962. A team member from our St. Louis Center will reach out to you during our business hours, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Anything else I can help with?
Yeah, what are your hours?
Our shops are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and we're closed on weekends. Anything else you need?
I'd like to speak to somebody.
No problem. I will transfer you over to one of our team members to help you with that.
So there we go. All right, so that was just a quick example of we didn't spend a ton of time training it, and it's fairly robust. Like if I was gonna go live with them, I would do more of a deep dive actually with the client, with the current receptionist, to kind of get more of the actual Q&As that business actually takes. But we can see here in the contacts area, you can see that I called 3 minutes ago. It captured my name, captured my number, and so here's where you've got your contact information, general information. That's typically like the business, the address, and that kind of stuff. It actually pulled this from my calling, and so that's pretty cool. I didn't answer any of those questions, and it automatically pulled it from my number. And then the additional information, that's that custom field that we set up for services that the customer was interested in. And so now you're basically empowering a business owner with that information, and so they didn't have to take the time out of their day to capture it. And if they wanted to, they could call, email, text message back right from high level here. And so I want to show you one last thing before we stop, and that is if I come back over to the agents, Voice AI, and then agents here, you've got a really nice dashboard that you can show the client. You can give them login access to this, where they can see how many calls they've had. You can look at the sentiment, and so the sentiment is like, hey, were people upset? Were they unhappy? And that's going to give you a little bit of clarity and insight into maybe you need to adjust the prompt to be more empathetic, or answer better questions, or handle customer transfers a little bit better. But you're also able to come into here and see a summary or a full transcript. So super powerful. You also get a full email as well. I did not show you how to do that. Let me show you that real quick. So if we come back over here to agent goals, come down over here to receive email notification after preview, receive email notification call after call completion. You can do all admins, or you could do a specific email and that kind of stuff. That way you have the ability to be able to watch it. And so if I set this up for a client, especially like the first week, I'm watching every transcript, I'm looking at it just to make sure that we're good. But I've seen really, really good results with this. And so if you're somebody that's looking to set the service up for a plumber, an electrician, an HVAC business, a collision center, whatever that may be, this is something that you can typically charge $300 to $1,000 one time to set up and train and all that. And then it's typically, $500 a month. If you look at it, like if they were to buy, if somebody was to hire an employee, they would pay, say, $15 an hour times 40 hours a week times 4. So that's $2,400. And so you're basically empowering a business with somebody that's going to answer the phone 24/7, field so many more phone calls throughout the day, be able to transfer the important and urgent ones to the actual business. You're going to be able to handle Q&A questions so much easier. And then also, this is something that they're going to be able to have answering service 24/7. So typical businesses are only answering the phone between 8 and 5, and you're going to power them with the after-hour call center, basically. And not only that, what I was mentioning earlier with the AI review reply, reviews, Google Business Optimization, those are all aspects of services that I would bundle in with this. And so I would absolutely help them optimize their Google business page, reply to reviews for you automatically. That way they don't have to worry about replying to every single review. The next piece of this will be, okay, well, how do we implement it? Well, I would actually work with the business owner. So if this was J&R Collision Center, I would actually change this phone number here to be the number that's my voice assistant. So we would actually utilize this 1-877-50, 1314 as the number for this one right here. And so that way, like whenever somebody Googled or Facebooked or Yelped the business name, it will populate the number for our voice assistant. So the voice assistant would take the call first, and then if they needed to transfer to a certain business, or this one specifically, we would transfer to this 1044 number. And so that's been really good. A lot of businesses actually have multiple numbers, so you could even have their original number call forward to your Voice AI and then transfer to a different number. That's another way you could do it as well. So there's multiple ways to do it. I prefer just to change the number on the Facebook page, Google business page, and allow that to kind of get the bulk of them. So if you're interested in checking this out to add to your current list of services, or maybe you're looking to make your first step into SaaS marketing, this is a fantastic one. It solves a really expensive problem, and it's easy to set up. And if you'd like some guided support, check out the link in the description below. I also have a link to the GPT for this that I used during this actual video. And so I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Have a great day.